Hi, did you know that according to the World Health Organization, this disease is second right behind cardiovascular disease? We're talking about depression. Hi, my name is Abner LeGrand, and I'm here to talk to you about depression and really what it's doing if we don't fight this disease together to be able to make a difference for the world and end the suffering. My family suffers from depression, and that's my sole interest into why I decided to talk about this. I'll share a little bit about that later. But did you know that depression eventually, by the year 2030, will be the leading cause of a disabling condition in the world? Is that not really enough to stop what we are to do, which is come together to not make these statistics grow, to help friends, to help family, those close around us that may suffer from this, by us just knowing a little bit more, becoming more aware. I'm here to just persuade you to kind of go through this and to understand really the consequences of not dealing with this disease. So let us look at what definition of depression is. It's a condition in which us as humans suffer from hopelessness, sadness, the ability to just have little to no energy. We feel a sense of just no self-worth. And that is according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, the ADAA. Their website is theadaa.org. Did you also know that according to the National Institute of Mental Health, that in the year 2014, 15.7 million people suffer from a depressive episode? So we ask ourselves, what is a depressive episode? It's an episode in which we may suffer from sleeplessness, we eat too much, or we undereat, so our appetites are either we overeat or we just don't eat at all. We're just tired. We could be suicidal. So we could have 4 to 5 symptoms, and the symptoms must occur, according to the NIMH, 2 weeks or more. So what must we do in order to assess this? We need to be able to have assessments, evaluations done at clinics by the doctors. When we go for physicals, our children before they go to school, we should be able to go through this to be able to make a difference in the beginning stages rather than when the depression has already progressed into the disease, the mental illness that will need further treatment. So we need to be able to look at this and say, where can I make a difference? How can we stop this together? Did you know that if we really look at this, we have to be able to look at the impact of not making a difference? Suicides will increase. Deaths would increase. Did you also know that $193 billion was in lost earnings in 2015? Did you know that the children who die of mental illness, 90% of them, of the children, suffer from a mental condition? Those who died of suicide, let me rephrase that. Those who died of suicide are the ones who had mental condition. And if this goes untreated, it could lead to death, it could lead to injury, it could lead to just further illness of our human bodies. The cost is astronomical. when you think about it, of the ability of humans to work, but we will not be able to. And almost $200 billion is not even close to the price of really us having a God given healthy life that we all deserve. So, what should we do about this? The Depression Bipolar Support Alliance, the DBS Alliance Association, if you go on that website, they have screening test center. Right under education, there's a drop down box there that'll come up. It'll say Screening Health Center. You can go in there and get a self screening. It's confidential. It's a quick inventory of depressive, what they call symptomatology, and it's self reporting. We need to be able to self report in the initial stages so this can be tracked into what do we do in the beginning stages. I'll share a story with you. When I met my wife 8 years ago, she suffered from depression, but I didn't know what it was. I saw her in the house. I moved in a little bit over a year after we met, and I saw her with crying spells. I saw her tremble in corners. I asked why. She would not, she's introverted, so I couldn't really get any answers. That's what drew me to the interest of depression. I was not able to figure out why I would find razor marks on her wrist, which she still has, deep gouges on both wrists she currently has, in which she was so ashamed she eventually put tattoos on her forearms. And I asked why. I said, I just don't want people to look at me and think I'm weird. She had depression since she was maybe 6 years old, and she suffered but wasn't diagnosed, wasn't assessed initially, and she suffered from this disease. And today she's 37 years old. She's in treatment, on medication, but she's also in therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, the CBT, to be able to help her with what she's going through. She goes through spells of sadness. She goes through spells of hopelessness, not having self-worth. The family supports us, but the family, we suffer as victims, whether it's a friend or a loved one. And with her being my wife, I suffer tremendously because all you could do at times is sit back and, with this mental illness, the chemical imbalance in the brain, is tough to figure out when it's coming. It's a roller coaster of a situation, but it's devastating when you're at the level like she is of being clinically depressed. So please, I ask you to make a difference. Get self-screenings early. Go to dbsalliance.org. Also visit the Anxiety Depression Associations of America, the ADAA.org. Visit those sites. Make a difference for yourself, make a difference for your family and others to join in this fight to end suffering and live worthy lives. Thank you.